Hello, Facebook land and YouTube land. It is Melanie Ake, and I am coming to you once more on StreamYard, which I love because I'm streaming on all my platforms. And I bring leaders to you that are doing amazing things across the globe. And tonight, I wanted to celebrate one more of those because we connected, and she is doing a summit, a virtual summit on mastering your mindset for joy. So, first of all, how many of you do not need this right now? Right? We've been going through the pandemic and it is really crazy. And my brand this year has been Everyday Leaders Change the World. And boy, didn't we need it this year. So I bring to you tonight Heather Ryder. Heather, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your journey.
Oh, yes, I am excited to be here. And as I was mentioning to you, this is my first time using StreamYard as well. So I hope lots of people are hopping on and are going to interact with us.
Absolutely. So, of course, here are the rules, right? So, if you have a comment and you're on YouTube or you're on any of the Facebook posts, wherever you're following, you can just type a little comment in there. And then if you have a question, we can also post it. So, because we want to really make this engaging tonight. And we're going to ask you to do one action item, which is to sign up for this summit because you need to master your joy as well. So I'm going to put that link across the banner here at the bottom. So if you're just joining us, go to this website right now, masteringyourmindsetforjoy.com, and join us for the summit while Heather is telling us all about her vision and why you put this together, Heather.
Yeah, so I mean, yes, we're in a pandemic. For those who are watching, we might have people from all over the world, but I'm in the United States, and so are you. And obviously, there's a lot of political tension going on as well. There's so much going on in our world, and so I felt like I kept hearing that people were really having a hard time not being on an emotional roller coaster. Like they'll be okay one week and then the next week they're just really having a difficult time again, right? Because it's just like things keep coming at us. And I felt like people needed some really practical tools in their life, things that they could easily implement so that they could do something to feel better. And I have lots of tips and techniques that I share with people, but I know there's a lot of other experts out there in the world that have their own strategies as well that I may not have been aware of. Or sometimes, you could hear the same thing from two different people, but just somebody says it a specific way and it resonates with you more. So I wanted to bring together an entire group of experts who were really coming from a place of service and wanting to share really powerful strategies for people so that they can start to feel better every day.
Every day. And that's exactly what my program is, right? Everyday Leaders. Because I think if you develop a system like what you've said, you bring these people together that say, maybe life's not perfect, but we know if we can create some strategy that's consistent in our life, that we know we're going to be able to make an impact. And so not be so sad, not be so lonely, not to be disconnected to the world as it kind of evolves, right? We can't change those things that are happening around us, but we can change what's going on in our house and in our minds and really how we show up in the world every day. So first of all, for people that don't know, I'm involved in this summit too. And I'm so excited because I really believe, for those of you that know me, know I really understand about beliefs. And when we change our mind, we absolutely can change our destiny. And so I was so excited to be able to join you, Heather, and all these experts to really share the joy. We need to get back the joy in our life. And so we've got a lot of people joining us now, Gigi
Yeah.
and Beth and Danola. Hello. Good evening. So Heather, how did you, have you ever done a virtual summit before?
I have not done a summit before. I have been a speaker in a summit and I have participated in summits, as an attendee, but I had not hosted one before.
Yeah. So what was that process like to learn kind of the components and how to do that? Was that fearful? Was that fun?
I wouldn't say it was fearful. I talked to a few other entrepreneurs who had done the process before, and my main concern, I guess, was time, because it does take a lot of time, and there's a lot of back end, software kind of components of hooking lots of little hoses up. And so I wouldn't say I was fearful. I hired a virtual assistant who knew how to do all of the back end things and got some tips from the people that I spoke with, and that made it more manageable. But I would say one of the funnest parts was gathering together the experts, because Melanie, I didn't know you before. I think that we came to each other through a mutual connection.
Mm-hmm.
And so, doing research for mindset experts on my own, asking trusted friends and people that I know for recommendations for people was great. I just built up my network, and I got to meet you and a lot of other people that have really inspiring stories. I do hope everyone watching joins the summit, because at the beginning of every interview, I ask the experts, about their backgrounds, and it's very varied. And also some people have just had amazing experiences and been through some really honestly traumatic things in their lives. And when we can see how they have shifted and how their lives are really positive and how they have turned those experiences into a message for other people, it's just really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's right in front of us. I say this so many times every day that sometimes we don't realize that our journey is just going back and connecting those dots, and that really our joy is so buried deep inside because of how we've reacted to things. So, like what you've discovered, changing your mindset can bring all that joy out. And it's right there. We just have to uncover it. And so, how did you decide on the topic? What for your crafting and your heart and your soul to try to message to the world when you picked mastering your mindset for joy? Tell me about that journey.
Yeah, so I do work professionally as an anxiety specialist. So the topic of, emotional intelligence work and how to feel better, that's part of my everyday life. So, there's that element. But also, I do think that mindset really is an approach to looking at life as it's happening for you and not to you. And that there are, as I mentioned, very practical things that we can implement into our daily lives when we can catch ourselves and say, okay, I'm not feeling so great right now. My thinking is not serving me, and I want to do something about it. And that acknowledgement is, enough sometimes just to help us shift. But if it isn't, then I wanted people to be able to have a way where they felt like they were mastering it. And a theme that sort of emerged that was pretty interesting, because when I was interviewing people, I knew, of course, like what they were going to talk about. We had the topic and, a general kind of outline, but it was not scripted. So I didn't know what was going to happen. And a number of people just really talked about consistency. Mm-hmm. And that if you're making a concerted effort to do things day after day to master your mindset, that's where you see the growth. It's not necessarily going to happen like you snap your fingers and you feel amazing. But if you take consistent action, then you will notice change. It tends to be incremental. And so I love the concept of mastery, right? Because mastery means you practice, and then that's how you get somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And that's really the highest level. So many people that have created content right now, especially during the pandemic, they have these master classes. So if you've been just surfing through Facebook and not done any virtual summits, everybody wants to bring you to that level of mastery. So this, I think the topic and just the theme of this is perfect for what people can achieve, right? So if you sign up, if you go to masteringyourmindsetforjoy.com, you can sign up right now and be able to participate in this that starts October the 16th. So
the 19th.
Oh, sorry, the 19th.
Yeah. So I'm so bad about dates. Today's Monday, right? Yeah, it's next Monday.
Next Monday. So get ready. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and we're going to take you through. If you go to this website, you can go directly now, and we're going to show you what this looks like here. You'll find Heather and this pretty mint green. My favorite is mint chocolate chip ice cream. So I love this color. But this mint green, and really talking about the experts and the people that are going to be sharing their stories about mindset. So Heather, talk to us about the event, kind of how it rolls out starting on next Monday. And I'll kind of walk us through this.
So for those who sign up, you'll get an email every morning with the link to that day's speaker. There are a couple of days that have multiple speakers. Most days it's one. And so it's 14 consecutive days of watching really powerful videos. Most of the videos range in length. They're about 20 or 25 minutes, so completely manageable, right? It's like nice little chunk of your day. You can maybe do it every morning, do it every evening. And if you want to scroll down, there is a wide variety of people from around the world. Not everyone is American, so I love that we have some people from Canada, who are Canadian. Veronica, who's right there, she does live in the U.S., but she's actually Polish. Clarissa, I believe, is living in Sweden. It's one of the Scandinavian countries. And so their backgrounds, of course, are all different. And Karen Shopoff-Ruth is actually a women's health coach. So she talks a lot about the physiology of what happens when you're stressed out. And when you hear that, you're going to be motivated because it's affecting your body. Cassandra Wilder, she talks a lot for the women in the audience about menstruation and about how that cycle of hormones throughout the month actually has a lot to do with your productivity levels and why you sometimes feel like doing something or not doing something, which can lead to a lot of stress if you're trying to operate in a way that your body is not wanting to do that week. So that's really interesting. Tim Ringgold, he is a person who uses a lot of music therapy for stress, anxiety reduction, and for overcoming addiction. And he is a total hoot. So he is the very first day of the summit. So I for sure want everybody to sign up and watch him because he's actually really funny. Like he could have a job as a comedian if he decides not to be a coach.
That's awesome. And so we've got, like you said, we've got several days of all of these amazing speakers. And so you may know some of them as we're scrolling through. And if you don't, this is a great way to sign up and at least listen to that 20 minutes of just inspiration, right? Anybody can take a 20-minute challenge. One of my friends always says, okay, you can do anything for 20 minutes. And it really may be those things and those exercises and just those thoughts that give you the opportunity to really take on something new and change the way you do something to be more empowered. So I really love this. I love being a part of it. I'm really excited to be able to kick this off with you, Heather.
Yes, I loved having you. And obviously, for those watching, you know Melanie, right? And you know her energy and passion around what she does. And I would say it's true for every one of the speakers in the summit. I mean, they really, really care about what they do and they care about people. And that's why they do what they do for a living. But I talked to every one of them before we actually filmed and said, I want you to give everyone actionable advice and techniques so they feel like when they watch this video, they can actually do something, like they're done watching it and there's a takeaway. That was really important for me.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's true, and all of us as coaches, we want to see people achieve greatness. And so sometimes it's actually giving somebody permission to do it, right? And so you're going to get a lot of that during this summit. And so I want to encourage you, if you haven't, now you can go to this masteringyourmindsetforjoy.com, sign up. I also have a link in some of these feeds here. If you're looking at it on YouTube or on any of these pages, you can go right directly to my link and sign up. And you'll be able to register for that. And again, it starts on Monday of next week. So how long will each of these play again, Heather?
So yeah, that's a great question. So the videos are accessible for 24 hours. And there is an all access pass that is available for sale if for some reason you just can't get to it one day and you really want to see who the expert was, or if you want to watch videos repeatedly after the summit is over. And then the all access pass also has the audio files, which are downloadable in case you, want to listen to it while you're driving, although not everyone's driving very much right now, but whatever, while you're cleaning or something.
But cleaning or working out or anything, and this is something that if you have a book club or you are still getting together with girlfriends or guy friends or you have a book study of some kind, this might be something that you could do together, right? Saying, "Hey, we're gonna task this and we're gonna start this virtual summit," and then, learn together what are the things that you could challenge yourself to do, because the pandemic isn't gonna go away, and we're all trying to figure out what it's gonna look like next. We thought in March, "Oh, we can get through this until May." And then we were told July, and then we were told October, right? Here it is, middle of October, and lots of people are on fall break and they're taking risk, right? Because we're so immune to the things that like I can't do this any longer.
Yeah.
So, what a fun way in the end of October here to build some strategies for the rest of the year and say, what would be the one thing that I could do differently that would make me feel better and bring myself and my family more joy in their life. And so I just want to challenge everybody to join us in on this journey and maybe you'll learn something, right?
Yeah, that was a really creative idea of watching it and talking with other people about the tools and techniques. And I guess also what you just said made me realize with the holidays coming up, that's going to look very different for a lot of people, right? And sometimes not having traditions, uh, that is very upsetting to a lot of people. And so I think that is a great time to start thinking about your mindset of if this isn't going to look normal, how can I still make this meaningful to me? And maybe there's something in the summit that can help at those times of like, Aunt Sue's not over here with the green bean casserole. This isn't feeling like Thanksgiving right now.
Exactly. And sometimes it's just that communication, right? So we're holding something in, but this could give you an idea for that freedom to just be able to communicate better and more effectively. And so, and some of us can't get together with our loved ones. And so, I know some of these things will be tips on how we can communicate over electronic media, like what we're doing, right? Some of the strategies, like you can't be present, but you can still do things that are going to be able to replace some of that, that fear and that sadness, especially during those holidays. So, I really think this is going to be so helpful for so many people. And if you can get on, watch these 20-minute segments. Watch them all day, get the all access pass so that you can really kind of keep that in your library and challenge yourself with these things and bring yourself more joy in your life.
Excellent. I love that. Well, I want to thank you for bringing me on. And again, thank you for being an amazing expert on this panel of amazing speakers.
Thank you, Heather. This was great. Anybody that has questions for Heather, you can go to masteringyourmindsetforjoy.com, register for this summit that starts next Monday, October the 19th. And again, you heard it right here. This is going to be one of those things that you want to keep in your library for a very long time. So join us and give us feedback. And Heather, I want to really thank you for coming on and just sharing your journey tonight. And we so appreciate you because, like I say, everyday leaders change the world. And you, with this vision, will absolutely change people's lives with this. So, thank you very much.
You are welcome. And thanks for having me.
Thank you.